Hi there, welcome to another video. This is Wild Unfiltered. Why the name? Because Wild is my name, and Unfiltered because this is a safe space for all of us to talk about anything and everything that we want to. So welcome to everyone. So welcome to another video. This is just a fun tag video. Now I have been tagged by the absolutely wonderful and gorgeous Tiana Perry, who I'm sure you all know. I will link Tiana's video up above here and her channel up above or in the description box down below. However I do that, I'll work out how to do it. And I just wanted to give a big thanks to Tiana for tagging me in this. It's just a bit of fun, and very honoured that she thought of me to do this. Now this is a tag video that I believe was created by Je Suis Lou, and again I will tag her wonderful video and channel in the description box below. So thank you to both ladies for firstly starting the tag and then tagging me. So the video today is the bags I'm afraid to use. And so yeah, when I thought about this video, I watched Tiana's and I fully understood her reasoning behind her choices. Some things a lot more delicate than others. Certain bags you have to worry about the rain or the weather, and yeah, so I understood where she was coming from. However, when I was tagged to do this video, I did look at my own collection and think, actually, which am I afraid to use? Because I sort of feel that I'm not afraid to really use any of them. I might be slightly mindful of when I do use a certain bag and when I don't, but yeah, I tend to try to use them all. But yeah, I did come up with, I think I've got 5. I've got 5 that I thought I could talk about in some sense. So hopefully this will make sense as we go along. But yeah, so let's get going. That I'm afraid to use in the loose sense of the term. My absolutely beautiful Louis Vuitton Capucines. And this is in the colour Gallet. I don't know if it's coming on screen. I think that's maybe about the correct colour. Looks slightly warmer than it is there. It's a beautiful beige. It's got a slight grey, sort of cooler undertone to it, I would say. And this, I believe, is the PM size. I'm not entirely sure. It's definitely not the BB, it's bigger than the BB. So I think it must be the PM. I don't think it's the MM. I really should research all my things properly. And truth be told, I bought this because I desperately wanted the Birkin in the taupe colour, and it was on my wish list, and I thought it would be years before I was able to actually to get that. So I went and bought this, and I absolutely adore this bag. However, 3 weeks later, seems to be a theme with me, 3 weeks later I got the call for the taupe. So I haven't used this. I've literally maybe used it once, twice. And then so when I was thinking about this tag video, I was thinking, why haven't I used this? I was looking at the bags I haven't used as much as others. And it's got the Python handle, which I know exotics aren't everybody's cup of tea. And I don't have any exotics like a full bag, but I think the touch of Python, particularly in this colour with the Gallet, I just fell in love with it. And it is because of this handle that I'm absolutely terrified of using it. I wouldn't say terrified, I'm just very careful when I use it. So because it is, obviously it is the scales, I'm so scared of damaging any of this. And yeah, so I wouldn't say I'm afraid to use it, but I have used it literally once or twice. I don't regret it, even though I don't really use it, because how can you regret it? It's absolutely beautiful. It really is beautiful. And I didn't include this in a video that, I'm not sure if that video's gone up yet, we'll see. It probably will have gone up by the time you see this. And that's the bags that I wouldn't buy again. And I didn't include this because I actually would buy another Capucines because I absolutely love the shape of it. It's so stunning. I'll do some cutaways so you can see what it looks like on me. Oh, but I love it. But yeah, I'm afraid to use it because of this because of the beautiful Python handle. So the second bag that I'm afraid to use again in the loosest sense of the term, because I have used this bag, but I don't use it so much now, and particularly for this reason. This is the beautiful jumbo Chanel classic flap in the black caviar, and I adore this bag. It's in the silver hardware, and this was my first ever what I would call huge luxury purchase. After I had a few Louis Vuitton bags, this was the first crazy money bag that I ever bought, and I've done a story about this one, so I won't go into that. And I found that the caviar is very, very durable, but the reason I'm afraid to use this too much now is that I have used this, but I've been incredibly careful with it. It was my absolute pride and joy, and still is, and I've been incredibly careful with it. However, I'll try and show you, and if I can't, I'll do some cutaways. But the inside rim of the, I don't know if it's showing here, the inside rim here is just, it's just all worn away. Does that show it there? I don't know if you can just see the edging of the absolutely beautiful burgundy leather. So just on this edge here, it's just worn away. And I'm absolutely devastated because I've looked after this bag so much, and I don't understand how that's happened. I've looked after this bag so well. I keep it stored with the felt underneath, so it's not even as if the flap, as I've stored it, is rubbing on anything, because I use the felt. So yeah, I'm really disappointed in that, in the sort of the quality of the inside of this. Now I'm sure it must be, because it's caviar on the outside, it must be maybe a lambskin on the inside, but yeah, so it's made me a little bit afraid to use it because I don't want to damage it anymore. So yeah, just a little bit disappointed. The third bag that I'm a little bit afraid to use, and it is my, and again I love this bag, this is the Chanel Trendy CC in the small size, and this is in the beautiful lambskin, and it is absolutely beautiful, buttery soft. But I don't know if it's showing up here. I've got, just here, I've got a little scratch here, and I'm going to try and buff that out to see if I can sort it. But yeah, just about here. There might be another scratch here looking at it. And I really, really haven't used this bag. Again, I've used it a couple of times and I've been extremely careful with it. So yeah, just very disappointing how delicate. And I knew when I bought it, lambskin was delicate, but the fact that I literally haven't used this bag, I did buy, and what I did before I bought any bag in lambskin, I actually bought a card holder, a Chanel card holder in the beautiful red, and that I bought I deliberately chose the lambskin card holder rather than caviar, even though I prefer caviar, because I wanted to test it out and see how durable and how delicate it is, particularly in a card holder, because I thought that's going to be in and out of a bag. The corners of it is probably going to get sort of more wear and tear maybe than a bag does. Maybe, I wasn't sure, because obviously it sits inside your bag, so it's not outside with the elements, but it can rub against other items in your bag and you're constantly reaching for it and you're probably putting it in and out of a pocket, or so I just thought I'm going to just test it out. And the card holder, I have to say, has held up really well. It's only very, very recently, I'll do some cutaways of it, it's only recently that the corners have started to show some wear, and I've had that card holder for a long time. So the fact that this is marked immediately, and it must be immediately, it's just a little bit disappointing. And I don't know if it is the quality of this lambskin compared to previous lambskins, or whether I've just been unlucky and just caught it. I just don't know. However, it's made me a little bit frightened. A little bit. I still would use it, but it's made me a little bit afraid of the lambskin. Certainly wouldn't take this somewhere where I knew I would be having to put this down on the floor, for example, because it doesn't have any feet. So does make me a little bit afraid to use it. Okay, the next bag that I'm a little bit afraid to use, and I've just pinched it from over there. So this is my Chanel 19, and this is in the fabric, in the denim. And this is the one I mentioned in another video that I got in Paris when I went on my wonderful trip with all my gorgeous friends, who I will link below. So yeah, this is a beautiful denim, and it has the silver hardware, which, like all the 19s, then goes into gold, aged gold, shiny like palladium, and then like an aged silver as well. So it has all the different metals, and I adore this bag. I absolutely adore this bag. And the only reason I'm a little bit afraid to use it is because it's denim, because it's fabric, and so therefore I just have to be wary when I use this. So for me, this is a summer bag, it's a dry day bag. I don't want to get any rain anywhere near this. I have sprayed it. I did get, I think it's called, is it called Liquid Proof? I think it was one of the Dragon Den products, and it is a fabric protectant, and I think you can use it on shoes and all different things. And yeah, I've sprayed it with that. I tested a tiny bit on the sort of inside of the flap, and yeah, it seems to, so far, and I have used it a few times, so far there's nothing to report. However, I have been very careful with it. So again, I'm not going to not use it, but I just have to be a little bit mindful when I do use this and make sure that it's not going to be a rainy day, because I really don't want this to get any damage from the rain. So yeah, that's another one that I'm a little bit afraid to use. The last bag, or should I say the last few bags that I wanted to just mention in this video, of the bags I'm afraid to use sometimes, and I've brought one just to show you. This is my absolutely beloved Birkin 25. So again, it's coming across a lot brighter on screen than it actually is. It's a lot darker in real life. Maybe that's a little bit more representative. So this is Rouge Granat, and this is so it's a Birkin 25 in Togo leather in Rouge Granat, and it's got the gold hardware. And the reason I am sometimes afraid of using this or any Hermes bag isn't because of the durability, isn't even because of not being caught in the rain, even though I am very mindful of that and I do look after them. The main reason that I am afraid to use the Hermes bags sometimes is because of judgment. And I have a whole video which I haven't put out yet, and I keep wondering whether to put it out. I will decide at some point whether to put that out, but in that video I talk about judgment and people's perceptions and opinions based on the luxury items that I've bought, and I've let that cloud my judgment, my own judgment, and I've let that stop me from just being who I am in the past. And there are times when I really would have loved to have used one of these bags, and I just daren't, because I was worried about somebody's opinion, somebody's perception, somebody's judgment, somebody's comments. And yeah, so in a way I've been afraid to use them because of that reason, not because of any reason to do with the actual bag. Anyway, you do have to be careful with it, but that's not the reason that I'm afraid to use it. There are times when I've been afraid of people's comments, and I just didn't want to face those comments. So I'm getting better and better at it, and starting the YouTube channel has allowed me the outlet that I've been searching for to talk about these luxury items. So because of that, it's becoming a lot more, I suppose, normal for me to talk about these bags and to use these bags, even just to show on a video. So that's helping me a lot to think, do you know what, I am putting myself out there, I'm showing these bags. If somebody says something, they say something, and that's their issue, not mine. So I suppose a group of bags that I've been afraid to use in certain circumstances that I am now getting over myself with and starting to use, but it definitely was in the past. So yeah, I think that's all the bags that I can think of that I actually am afraid to use. None of them sit on a shelf and are never used because I'm so terrified of using them. Not at all, but these are the bags that I have to think carefully about where I'm going, what I'm doing, and whether they would be suitable. But I think we're like that with most things, aren't we? I would have thought so. So yeah, thank you again to Tiana for tagging me. That was so kind of you to include me. And as I say, any other videos that I can find on the same subject, I think Jo from Jojo Looks, I'm sure she's just done a video which I'm just going to watch. So if she has put that, I'm sure I've seen a trailer for her video. So if that is published, I'll link that above and below as well, because again, Jo from Jojo Looks, she's got an amazing, beautiful bag collection. So it'd be interesting to see her take on this. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I might see you on another one.